go. Here we go. How we doing? How we doing? I told you all my prediction, and look at what we have here. It seems that I was exactly right. You know what it is, man. See the title.
Down the second. This Aberdeen hit a three early for Kentucky. And here's Yelovich from the corner. And he rolls one.
So I said this in previous streams. Yelovich is a good player. He just has to get tougher. Oklahoma's a decent team at best. They're still an SEC team, but they're not ranked or anything like that. So honestly, you would expect Kentucky any other year to walk through, and why not this year? They still have a good team this year. It's been through a lot of injury and adversity, but I still think they have what it takes to really go all the way. I really do.
On home. Well, he can really be the injury right now.
I'm not just saying because I'm a fan either, because my cousin's on the team.
At least one loss for the season, but they have reinvented themselves throughout. Nice spin and finish.
Getting off to good starts has not been Oklahoma's problem.
Oweh fouled on the drive.
See, that's under a greater microscope after losses, after injuries, second guessing this.
The point guard of this team, and he will be the rest of the season. Davis with the step throw, and it will take a victory lap before.
That comment about the point guard on this team and the point guard the rest of the season, I did not like because he was referring to Denzel Aberdeen, obviously, and Denzel's a senior. So therefore, we all know the senior takes the leader role on the team, especially if you're the point guard. I'm not saying he has to be the best on the team, but like, it's not as if he was never meant to be one of the leading guards on the team. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of money went into him, just like everybody else. Like, this is everybody's good on the team, everybody's deep, but he's the only one with championship experience and an actual ring. So why people are acting surprised, I don't know.
Porter Moser has gone to his bench early. Dayton Forsythe off the bench, one of two, and Yelovich with another three. Now as we get into the second half of league play, still what will this team be? What a start for Tate Davis. He has done just that. Colin Chandler for three.
Chandler's playing very good in this game. A couple mistakes. Obviously, we can't have perfect games, but I really like what I'm seeing from Chandler. I think if you really put some muscle on and keep it going, he could go to NBA.
Sid knocks it out of bounds. Hit during Champ Week, and Oklahoma was on the outside looking in 2 years ago. Aberdeen's got a hoist. Got it! Well, for Oklahoma.
Best shooter on the team, I don't care.
Here's Pack with the driving kick. And Davis going to work on Yelovich. Nifty move. Man,
has he come to play? That's been able to put 40 minutes together.
Ilya Totsiv got knocked down. Got to get back up. Chandler 0 for 2 now.
You don't like your parking lots?
I like them like my drinks, and they are on ice. Loose ball corral by Aberdeen 6 early in this season.
And those loose ball corrals, what he does, that's literally his specialty. He's put on a team to take care of the ball. That's what he did last year. That's what he's doing now.
That was probably a sign of things to come. Oh, wait, baseline jam against his former club.
On the go, it's as athletic as anybody in the country.
Ilya Totsiv bounces back from the air.
Otega Oweh really played like he from Brick City.
Ball 3, and it's a little printing tries to work. Diabate, no good. We've already had 3 lead changes in this game, and Forsythe puts him ahead.
Oh, he had a really promising freshman year.
4-on-4. Brown got caught on the block. Davis playing on the offensive end with some
good on the offensive rebounding end. So you've got to make them one and done. Your first shot defense should be
in the country in bench points per game at 19.5. Diabate into the corner for quick 3, and that's good for Jasper. Not the.
I said it before, I say it again. I love the way Mo Diabate plays. He's what every team needs as well. The thing about Kentucky is you could clearly see that the roster was well thought out. Clearly. So you can't fault the coach for there being injuries when the roster was clearly thought out. It would have to be more of a performance in practice kind of thing. How are they recovering? What exactly is their regimen like? What are they consuming? What are they eating? And I assume they're not eating garbage. And I know they do have personal trainers that put them through specific trainings and specific workouts according to their skill sets and injuries. So how all these injuries formulated, I don't have enough data points to really conclude.
They expected to be playing together much this year. Reed in the paint for 2. And Noah tracks it down. He was a fantastic rebounder in the win at Bud Walton Arena.
That is a high IQ pass. We're going to see that again.
And Noah tracks it down. He was a fantastic rebounder in the win at Bud Walton Arena. Kid from Harvard.
And scouts see that and know that's a make on a good team. Not that he's not on a good team, but anywhere else that's a make and a great pass. He had all the defenders looking at him basically and swung it right out.
Kick. Late in the shot clock again. Diabate's got 4 on it. Spin move. Baseline. Layup. Chandler off the air and pass from Johnson. Chandler, nifty pass to Brandon Garrison for the dunk.
That is a terrific do it. A good job by Kentucky, forcing Pack off the three-point line. You want to make him beat you from 2, not 3.
Johnson in the lane.
I wanted that to go in so bad. When I saw him hit that spin move, that was probably one of the smoothest ones I've seen in a while.
Sue Davis, who got Oklahoma off to a great start in this one. Here's Brown. Got it.
Yeah, you got to locate him if you're Kentucky.
Rebound. Garrison. And a whistle with the ball on the...
I think if you can keep this win streak going, you can wear anything on the sidelines here at Kentucky.
Thompson gets it back. 8 on the shot clock. Pump fake and a block. Coming out of prolific prep. And started his college career at Alabama. Into Moreno.
When people go to these schools like Prolific Prep, IMG, Oak Hill, and they don't go D1, is that like automatically a failure? And if so, what is the point of them going to these high levels?
Heft advantage at Elliot Thompson, but he walked with it. That'll take over, but the Sooners have only made 2 threes. A little late getting to the offense here with 4 on the shot clock. Forsythe off the glass. Oklahoma came in here heavy underdogs, having lost 8 in a row. Chandler creating some space, gets whistled for the push-off. They've saved the legs of Pack. That one partially blocked. Here's Pack again.
I hate the way Pack shoots, man. Like, I don't know if I'm hating or what, but I've never seen a form like that.
And that one will find its home. First bucket of
The guards down the court just could not corral that alley-oop.
Chandler left open. Captain Clutch throws it in. Aberdeen finds Moreno. 7-foot freshman fouled. And he'll be at the free throw line.
In conference play, and we know their ceiling's a little bit lower offensively for this Kentucky team, but they always felt like their defense still had potential. And he's been a big reason very next time on the court.
Oweh plays with it in front of Wagee. And now pull up 3. Got it! Otega.
Otega Oweh has the green light. It's as clear as day. He's the highest scorer on the team. Do I categorize him as a shooter? No, but he can shoot, which is why he got the green light.
Boy, something of finishers in college basketball. He's got a linebacker's body. He's getting to the rim again. And Forsythe with the block. Over 2,200 points during his Oklahoma prep career. And he had a good shooting seat. Turns it into a mid-range, and the floater is short. Oweh off the mark. Injury to Jalen Lowe. There was no question what position he was playing. And those defined roles have gone a long way to Kentucky.
I'm not mad at that take at all. I just wish he would come on 2 feet, jump to a jump stop, try to absorb a foul. It's like I always say, a lot of guards ain't absorbing a foul these days and using that SGA mentality. I think SGA really paved the way again to that free throw line, man.
Slow start for Nigel Pack, so he finds Walkwo in the corner.
And then what he did at Alabama.
3 to shoot for Chandler. Sidesteps Pack. And he rains it right on top of him. Cats will run the clock again. Kentucky has scored the last 6. Diabate. Fits it in.
Notice it's the same way he's scoring every time. They just can't stop it.
Brown. Chandler closed out on Pack. Took that away. Here's Davis. Fade away from the elbow. Chandler the rebound.
For contesting those, so be it. Tip of the cap. But they just know that they can't defend right here. I mean, that's where Kentucky's good.
All-America. Kentucky Mr. Basketball won a state championship his senior year at Great Crossing High School. Just down. John Pelfrey, Richie Farmer, Darius Reed, Of course, Rex Chapman.
And shows you the
Some in the latter half of the first stanza. Here's Davis. Shot a shake and bake.
That was tough.
Wow, Tay Davis rim, and you have to finish to get a bucket. Ilyasantsev with a block touch, and he left.
held Oklahoma without a field goal for the last 4 minutes.
This is the kind of pass you want your big man to make if you just pay millions of dollars.
Finish to get a bucket. Ilyasantsev with a block touch, and he left.
Held Oklahoma without a field goal for the last 4 minutes.
Beautiful.
Going to get Tate Davis with the foul his bet had ever had. Playing against much older and more distinguished professionals. Ball fake and nowhere to go for Ilyasantsev. Here's Forsythe. Chandler. Foul and going to the line.
Chandler's playing with a crazy confidence lately. I don't know if just because he's getting more minutes or what.
They get Xavier. That may have been the moment some of the Big Blue faith
Deficits as opposed to the guy that blows halftime leads. So he could do it either way, could Coach Pope.
Like he said, what? Are we getting credit for being up 30?
That's right. I wish it worked that way, Coach. In there at halftime, but the close of that first half has really hurt them here on the road.
That's Owe behind the screen.
And hit threes. Now he's playing like the best player in the SEC right now.
Attack with the turn on a drive, and then he rises and drills a 23-footer. And now he's fouled on a three.
His recruitment level, Oklahoma.
A lot of people don't use that snatchback anymore. He's work every time.
Coach Moser said, look, a lot of people knock the fact.
And Brown finds it. Cherry picking was Ilyasantsev, and he takes the easy deuce.
It's that simple, right?
Uh-huh. Here's Garrison with 5 on the shot clock. He just shot Kentucky.
Garrison should be doing this every game. I don't necessarily think what he had last night was a great game. He did good in everything he was supposed to do.
Roster who, after the injuries and finding more playing time, taking more advantage of it than Brandon Garrison.
Arkansas game, threw it back to Oweh. Remember, Amari Williams was a point center. He won't necessarily be that, but can you operate
against Mizzou? Forsythe.
I remember when point center became a thing and changed the whole game up, man.
Kicks into the corner. Atuk got it. Attack, pardon me, with his first bucket of the night.
A little bit of rest after that bump, though.
Pack left wide open. Can't leave that dude open.
Total miscommunication.
Guard.
You definitely can't leave him open because his form is actually hella slow, so there's really no excuse.
And now, as Mark Pope says, he's much comfortable in this role. Pack.
For Kentucky, they've been pretty focused about getting the ball inside. They've gone to the line 9 times here in the second half. And really
that was a tough shot from Garrison. If you get that little mid-range short jumper going, it's curtains.
resisted that.
Picked up by Garrison. 5 for Forsythe. Forsythe can't get out. Catch with a push. Oweh downhill. Nifty move.
This man really played like he from Brick City, man. He like a baby Russell Westbrook.
Defender for Oklahoma, but neither have the rest of them. So Coach Moser said, come on, let's play.
That right there is what I need Yelovich to be doing, man. He a good player with skill. He's just not strong enough. He got to put either weight on or muscle on. Weight or the weight room is what they used to say.
Finds a tall
Defender for Oklahoma, but neither have the rest of them. So Coach Moser said, come on, let's put him in.
I don't even necessarily think he had to dribble and go to the other side there. He could have just went up with a pump fake, tried to get him to go up and draw a foul.
How did that pass from Oweh find it to have the opportunity to play in Rupp, but they didn't back down. They
do that same play with Jasper every time. I only seen it work once. Let's see if it worked this time.
Pass from Oweh find it to have the opportunity to play in Kentucky to overtime. Johnson off.
I don't know what it is about Jasper Johnson. I seen him that first game he came in when he started getting minutes. They hit that one play and he hit the 3. I think he actually hit it twice in that game. They keep trying to run it with only him for some reason. I don't know if it's because he's a lefty or what, but only him they run that play with.
So Mark.
6 boards, 3 assists. And again, he's shown you the ability to continue to shoot that 3 consistently in conference play.
Chandler with the turnaround.
We're not going to live and die by that. Just 2 3-pointers here in the second half as they have been committed to getting to the paint.
Another bucket for Brown. One of Palestra. That was one of the other favorite places that he's played in addition to Rupp. And now Davis with his 4th personal.
If you don't get into his body and meet him with contact.
You think there's some contact in the
It's felt like a
Good to see him working on his free throws.
really balanced attack, hadn't it, for Kentucky? I mean, multiple guys.
another 3. Attack has 3 of them tonight. 1 point away from his Kentucky high. Chandler to Owe. Owe dances with it, muscles his way in.
And that's the exact C games. Included 3 DNPs and 7 total minutes. And over the last 3, he's averaged 16 and had that. The more dangerous this Kentucky team will be.
Baker's dozen for Garrison. His new Kentucky its way to its 9th consecutive loss. Barring a big comeback here in the last 10 to shoot. Away, able to
I wouldn't have been mad if he kicked it out to nowhere and just shot the 3.
gather after stumbling a bit. They have taken a shot to the Brown buries it from the corner.
A little bit of a
And he takes
Was that a travel?
buries it from the corner.
a little bit of a
And he
I saw 3 steps there. Tell me if y'all saw anything else.
takes it all the way himself, but left it short. But it's a 14-point game. You can talk about whatever you want. Here's Garrison. He's looking for a double-double. Nice touch and a little jump hook. A back
1 through 5, and they're doing so more effectively here over the past few games.
That was just terrible defense right there. You got to see that again. That's just being lazy.
And they're doing so more effectively here over the past few games. It's one,
And they still missed.
and if 3 technicals in 38 seconds, all separate incidents. And I loved his response on that.
floor for Kentucky for a minute there. Looked like he had just walked out of Rosebuds with one eye open. Diabate working on Davis.
Yeah, see, when he does.
It was a terrible finish, but I'm actually not mad at the setup and the take itself. I didn't like the underhand scoop at the end, but everything else before that was perfect. He was taking his time. He was being strong.
Yeah, see, when he doesn't get an angle.
That's what Garrison did. Like, what are you talking about? I did nothing. Like, he clearly had a...
The 1999 comeback story of the year that really never got talked about enough. 8-game losing streak where they've been close, just haven't been able to finish the job.
Chandler after the pump fake. Got it!
Best shooter on the team.
But if he could. Tay Davis played for his dad, Dre, in high school.
If you ask me, Chandler should be one of the consistent starts. Him, Denzel, Tega, probably Malachi.
Warren Central in Indianapolis. He's got
For 5, throw whoever you want in there, really. Team is deep.
14. The Unpredictables having another great go away from the corner.
Shoots that ball. He's got a little bit of a hitch right before he puts it up, but he's confident in it, and he's seeing it go through tonight.
To the shoot, stolen away by Davis. Davis to Xavier Brown. Yeah, what a half for. Sooners have life late. Yelovich trying to create some space.
It's a hard miss because that's really Yelovich's game.
Sooners have life late. Yelovich trying to create some space. And McGee, 2-guy, last 13 games, he's over 18 points a game. And after a quiet first half, he's come alive in his second. McGee just...
Their coach has, and you can tell he's still got this locker room and team playing together.
Chandler has it.
That was a bad shot, Chandler. I don't even know. You're just doing too much from the jump.
Their coach has, and you can tell he's still got this locker room and team playing together.
Chandler has it rejected. There'll be 7 on the shot clock as Aberdeen step back 3. That would have been massive. The rebound is, and Garrison gets it and 1.
It's played. That's elite. He said, look, we track how many times you go after it aggressively in terms of not.
He had 27 last time they met. He's got 24 tonight. Hawks today after shoot-around. He said, I know him from back in our Pennsylvania days. I had no idea that he could turn into such a skilled player.
That was tough.
A historic building, but the Jordan logo can only cover up.
Turn around, off the
Yo, if that gets consistent, nobody's stopping him.
glass. Are you serious? Sleds early to slide on home here in Lexington, and for good reason. And now Garrison can't help himself. Darion Reese, sluggish starts in games, and man, has it paid off. And the Cats.
This is KSR Radio, Kentucky Sports Radio. They got good takes. This dude in the middle has been like with the team for 5 years since Coach Calipari. So I value his insight, and these are like people that work with him. The dude on the right hand side is a basketball coach as well. So they're not dumb. So this is why we're reviewing what they say.
Brandon Garrison / Ramsey, Jacob Polachek, and Zach Gagan here to celebrate a big-time Kentucky victory over the Oklahoma Sooners. Thank goodness. About as good as it gets, folks. You wanted Kentucky to just take care of business. They did that and then some in a blowout fashion to move to a – what's the record off the top? I don't remember.
17-7?
16-7.
Kentucky is 17-7.
17-7 and 7-3.
I think so.
In the –
Supposed to know these things. It's 17-7.
16-7 and 7-3 in the SEC.
Whoopsie.
Feeling very, very good, winning 7 of the last 8. Jacob, you got to get down to talk to the players. This is the Brandon Garrison Show. All eyes on Brandon Garrison.
Brandon Garrison was awesome tonight. We got the full Brandon Garrison experience. He even got his one fight in at the end of the buzzer within the last minute. Got that great dunk at the end. Brandon Garrison was awesome tonight. I'm gonna get down there, but shout out Brandon Garrison.
Agreed. Totally agree.
I wonder which player he liked.
All eyes were on Otega Owe, Brandon. How things went for him last year, averaging 27.5, 2 game winners. So
we're going to review their press conference, too. I think he brought in Brandon Garrison and Otega Owe, and we finally get to hear from that black coach in the press conference. I don't even know his name, but I see the clips of him, and he's always giving something useful.
You knew he was going to bring the edge, but I'll be honest, I just didn't expect that from Brandon Garrison. It was his best game as a Kentucky Wildcat.
Yeah, sure, let's take it. I mean, you really just can't say enough about the way he played. Like, he also had 3 assists, 11 rebounds. Like, this guy was the complete package tonight. And, you know, it's one of those things, like, we've wanted to see it for so long. We've seen the glimpses. We've never seen it all come together like it did for him tonight. And to me, just overall,
that's basically what I said earlier. That's what he should have been doing.
It was such a good win for Kentucky. You needed to come in and really take care of business tonight. Everybody talked about this being the proverbial trap game, coming off of a very emotional road win, looking forward to a big emotional game on Saturday. You had to earn that right to play that game on Saturday by winning tonight, and you did that in about as methodical and, thorough of a fashion, quite frankly, as this team is probably capable of. Like, they're probably never going to be the team that pulls away by 25 and wins a game, just not in their DNA. But this team took care of business tonight. It was great to see.
Why does that even matter? Like, why is that a relevant point to state?
See.
Outside of the Brandon Garrison Show, Zach, it was the Otega Owe Show. Again, shocker, yeah. Stunned. I'm telling you, I'm stunned. He is now second behind Antonio Reeves for 16 20-point games as a Kentucky Wildcat in the SEC. And Antonio Reeves had 19 in his Kentucky career. So Goodness. How about that for Otega Owe?
Yeah, man, something about the state of Oklahoma just pisses off Otega Owe and Brandon Garrison to the point where they play the best basketball of their careers. And I guess that's awesome. Like, that's what you want. So Otega was great. He came out definitely with a little bit of an edge, a little bit of a fire to him. A couple of missed layups early on,
Low-key missed layups are a part of his game. I don't want to say it's part of his game, but, like, he's the type, he going to go for a harder shot, tougher shot, off-balance shot because he's looking for contact and fouls as well.
By a lot of guys, actually, kind of in that first half. But he was great. I think he was 3 for 4 from 3 as well, Otega was. He was just really locked in on this game, especially on defense. I thought he was doing a pretty good job. Other than his gambles for those steals, didn't get his pick 6 this game. But I thought he was great all around. New haircut as well. So he was really feeling himself for this one. He said, you know what, I'm gonna really show out against my old team here. He must hate Porter Mosier, and thank goodness he does, because He's a lot of fun to watch when he plays Oklahoma. And then Brandon Garrison, obviously from Oklahoma, so this game went to Oklahoma State, so they were his rivals, so he had a little bit of an edge to it as well. Made sure to get his technical foul in there at the very last second.
1.4 seconds left on the
literally
clock.
At the very last second. So impressive stuff from Brandon Garrison, and he earned that technical too. Like when you play 20 points, 11 rebounds, your first ever double as a Wildcat, probably his best game in college ever. What did he say? I don't know what he said. He was probably trying to be funny, but most people aren't funny. So yes, great game from the two Oklahoma haters.
Somebody who is gaining confidence by the day and playing just unbelievable basketball in general, Colin Chandler. He is like, when he's playing with confidence, he just kind of starts doing things and like, hey, I'm going to take a little bit out of my bag here, or take a little bit out and just test himself. And it's very cool to see him kind of.
I feel like it's not testing himself, though. I feel like he's always had that in him. Colin was like Mr. Basketball when he was in Utah in high school, literally.
Unlock new parts of his game, but just in general, Brandon, it's his level of confidence to be a shot maker and, just do it all dagger thrower for the Kentucky Wildcats that I'm growing more and more confident in to be a guy who can win you games in March as the season goes on.
There's a really smart guy on Twitter that's known for saying "shoot 'em all, Colin," and I think we saw some of that today.
Jacob Polachek.
Exactly, Jacob Polachek. Mm-hmm. No, I mean, this guy just keeps knocking down big shot after big shot. The way he's shooting the ball over the last week or so is a big reason why Kentucky's winning games the way that they are. He's even, as Jack said, he's kind of pulling something out of his back, getting a couple of those little tough turnarounds inside.
You're not even saying anything about his defensive performance either.
Which you start doing when you're a 40% three-point shooter, because people close out on you differently, and then you're able to use your athleticism and get in there. I just thought that, throughout this game, you saw different guys step up in some different ways. Obviously, BG, obviously Colin, Otega getting 24, like, you almost kind of write him in for now at this point in SEC play. And then, honestly, I thought, even though the defense took a while to get going, like in that first half, they were doing a really good job on number 1 Brown and number 9 Pack. They kind of neutralized them early. I know Brown got going in the second half, but really I thought that Kentucky did a good job of making those other guys beat you. And like over the course of 40 minutes, they were never able to beat Kentucky. So I actually thought they probably deserve to give Kentucky a little more credit defensively than what they're going to get this game. But going out and scoring 94, that's what you need to do to beat teams you're better than, like Oklahoma, and we did that tonight.
To your point of making other guys beat you, Tate Davis had 9 points like in the first 3 or 4 minutes for Oklahoma, only finished with 16. So it was kind of if you want to try and beat us, Tate Davis, go right ahead and we'll let that happen. And obviously that was not going to happen. And
that's what Kentucky does. They make the team score less. Like the 2 starters on Arkansas didn't even score.
Other storylines of the game, Denzel Aberdeen gets an elbow to the eye. Thing gets like swollen shut and misses basically the entirety of the second half.
Weird. Shocker,
that
right?
was weird, but does come back and play, so we don't have to add him to the injury report, Stephen. I know you're jonesing for it. We don't have to add him.
He was trying to update that graphic.
Don't have to add him to the injury report, but anything else?
It was funny because he was just making fun of his teammates on the story for getting injured, and he's going to get elbowed the same day.
Well, any other funky stuff that we need to do? Oh, number 1 player in the country, C.J. Rosser, was in attendance. Very good one for him to see. But anything else that jumped out at you?
Yeah, he was in a boot, which is just like, man, even the recruits that come to Kentucky are just,
he's already in uniform.
Not even committed. He's already in a boot. So, so Denzel hit a logo 3 as well. He was on fire early on. So was Yelovich hit a couple of threes early on.
Oh,
boy. So great stuff from them. Colin Chandler nearly literally flung an 80-foot shot into the basket. And I think he had just hit one maybe a minute before a 3. So Jack and I were like, that shot might go in. So just barely grazed the rim on that one. But there was one other – I feel like there was one other thing I wanted to mention here, but I'm losing it already. I know Kentucky dominated the glass.
Crushed them on the glass.
41-25, awesome. Massive. There was a point in the –
They should be crushing everybody on the glass. They got a few of the best big men in the country, especially the young ones.
Second half where Brandon Garrison literally looked like he was playing with children out there. Well, that sounded wrong, but he was playing amongst children out there because he was just so much
– Hey, yo, come on, son.
Taller and grabbing every rebound, playing great basketball out there. Sorry, I know that was inappropriate. It was really just impressive stuff from Brandon Garrison. And he didn't make any of the normal mistakes, I think is the big thing for him. There was one time he pushed it in transition, and I think he ended up getting a bucket off of that. Maybe he missed it and then got a putback off of it. But there was 2 or 3 other times where he pulled it out and said, here, I'm going to give this to the guard. We're going to run our offense and go through that. So, and there was even a stretch in the second half there where Oklahoma was pushing and pushing.
I've been seeing Brandon Garrison offering his input on the offensive end. Even when a guard would tell him to throw the ball one way, I would even see him wave off what the guard says and go with another play. We saw him that last game do that when he threw the ball to Otego away in the corner when Denzel was calling for it in the opposite corner, and it ended up being a miss.
Got it down to 8 with like 4 minutes left, and then Kentucky bounced right back up to like 13 or 14 points. So it did get a little testy at the end there just because Oklahoma was making a lot of shots. They shot like almost 60% from the field in the second half, but Kentucky was just on fire. 12 for 26 from 3 out of the whole game. Like it was just great. Yeah, great free throws as well. Great shot making all around for Kentucky in this one.
Brandon, this one was just about surviving and advancing, win the game, and focus on what's next. How impressed were you with the inability to make this a focus on the trap game and fall for the trap? Does this give you going into a big emotional game, the rematch against Tennessee, the Denham game, the 96 reunion, all of the extra stuff that comes with Saturday?
Yeah, I think it just takes a lot of pressure off of you for Saturday. Not that, we're ever going to be happy losing to Tennessee at home, certainly with the Denham and all that kind of stuff coming in, but it allows you to, I think, play a little more free, have some fun, and let this atmosphere be raucous on Saturdays. I have a feeling it's going to be for an 8:30 tip. To me, this proved that Kentucky, like, they're not the bad team that we thought they were a few weeks ago. They're not a team that's going to miss the NCAA tournament. Like, these are the games that you have to win and have to prove yourself in order to go win some of those quad one games. And I thought they did a great job, trap game aside. Like, they pretty quickly showed, like, hey, we showed up again today. And to me, like, so much of that Arkansas game was about effort, about concentration, about urgency. And I wanted to see them show some toughness by bringing those same things tonight. And I thought they did just that. And yeah, to me, this win was exactly what it needed to be. It wasn't always the prettiest. It wasn't always perfect, but you never felt like Kentucky was going to lose this game. There was never a point where I was very concerned that Kentucky wasn't going to win. And quite frankly, we haven't been able to say that a whole lot this year. So to me, that deserves to be celebrated.
At the beginning, I was a bit shaky. I'm not going to lie, because I feel like they should have beat Vanderbilt. I feel like Vanderbilt's also not a better team than them, and they low-key almost blew them out.
Not easy to beat an SEC team by 16 points. We did that tonight. Now let's go beat the heck out of Tennessee.
Nice.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And Tennessee going to be another dub. There's already bad blood there after the last little scuffle. Likes to get in the other team's head, but they're not a better team than Kentucky. They just need to keep doing what they're doing, really. Stay solid, hit their shots. That's what it's always going to come down to if they're hitting their shots. So they got to stay sharp in practice, make sure they're getting their 1,000 makes up. I know some of them do get 1,000 makes a day.
Shout out to Friends of Cole. I appreciate for them always keeping the lights on. The lights were very bright for the Kentucky Wildcats, and they thrived in them. But also shout out Parlor Pizza, because they're going to be able to give us our Parlor Pizza Player of the Game.
And shout out to Mark Pope's daughter, who just returned from her mission trip. And Pope is like, I think she just landed or was about to land in 15 minutes. He is gone already, probably already on his way there. So thank God they won, because that would have been if he didn't do the post-game interview.
I'm out.
And he just left. But they won by a lot. So yeah. So big shout out to her and the Pope.
I'm pretty sure he did do a post-game interview, though. Maybe that's why we're seeing a lot of clips of the black coach as well. Maybe only the black coach. I'm still excited to hear what he has to say.
Family for all that, and hopefully everything went well there.
Jason Hart on post-game press conference duty, and Mikhail McLean on post-game radio duty. So I'm thrilled to hear from them. We never get to hear from them.
It's like listen to Chin and Kenny Payne out there. Let's bring them out.
So it's just an Arkansas game. So with that, shout out to our friends at Parlor Pizza. Make sure you go check them out. Multiple locations in Lexington, Louisville, and soon to be Richmond. Who would be we all have to pick 3 different ones. Who is your Parlor Pizza player of the game?
Well, there's 3 obvious choices here, and I picked Otega for the MVP coming in, so I'm going to stick with him for my number 1 MVP here. 24 points, like we said. Great overall game from him, just very locked in, both ends of the floor from start to finish. Like I said, it's something about playing Oklahoma that really just gets this guy in a good groove. But also, this is just kind of who Otega Owe is right now. He is just a 20-point-per-game scorer. It might not always be pretty how he gets it, but he's going to get 20 points, and he is – is it a hot take to say he's firmly in contention for SEC Player of the Year?
Sure. Yeah.
He's probably in the top 3, top 5 candidates of that award right now. So he's playing great basketball.
I low-key can't name 3 guards better than Owe in SEC.
Let's see if he can keep it up.
Brandon Garrison will be my Parlor Pizza Player of the Game. Just out of nowhere, Malachi has been playing such consistent basketball that anything BG gives you is just icing on the cake. And for him to go for 20 and 11 and play just out of his mind, get the energy plays without, being too chaotic, but also just giving you just enough to, really kind of like, oh, it's the Oklahoma game for BG. You love that. But, man, he was just a menace around the rim and finishing well and just did everything that you ask of him, especially given his role. Man, I think it was the best performance of his 2-year Kentucky career, and I hope he can continue that. Yes, indeed.
There we go. Got some
For
fun.
me,
Got some excited fans going by. Number 1.
Parlor Pizza Player of the Game, Colin Chandler. You left me with him.
There you go.
I believe somebody said it was career high, 18 points. Is that factual or
I don't
is
know
that
for sure,
fake
but that
news?
probably is.
Okay.
I'd have
Well,
to
let's go
guess.
with it. 18 points, career high, 4 of 8 from 3. He is now over 40% on the season from 3-point range. That means you are a shooter. Shoot them all, as I say. Colin Chandler, 3-topping Parlor Pizza Player of the Game.
He's the pepperoni.
Chandler's the pepperoni?
Yeah, he's the pepperoni. Otega's the no. We'll say Otega is the pepper.
Just for that dumbass joke, they gotta get skipped. We on to the next video.
Every one of you, and go Cats.
From the jump, but also, Arkansas, they brought the intensity.
It's not the press conference I want to hold on.
Four teams sitting a game and a half back outside of the top spot.
We gonna listen to this while I get the press conference pulled in.
One of those teams, despite all of the injuries and a bit of a bumpy start to the year, is the Kentucky Wildcats. Fresh off the massive win over their former head coach, Coach Cal, and the Razorbacks this weekend. They sit at 6-3 in SEC play. Henson, is this an overreaction or a proper reaction? Kentucky will win the SEC this year.
I think it's an overreaction. However, I was on the Kentucky bandwagon. I'm talking like Final Four.
He's hating, but we'll let him talk.
Potential. So I have to come down off my ledge of the Wildcats. But yeah, I think it's an overreaction. They're fighting, man. I like how they're fighting. They're fighting. They're not laying down. They're trying to stay in the mix, and that's all you can ask for a team that, we were kind of down on it. Everyone's just like, oh, Kentucky, here we go again. And they've kind of shored up a little bit and became competitive, right? So, credit to them for not giving up per se and holding on to the rope. But winning the SEC, I can't see it.
Justin?
Hater. This hater off my jaw, man.
And Jay Hart's going to take all the questions. He's going to be way better answers than me. My daughter lands in 23 minutes. I'm super proud of our guys. Really proud of the effort. Really proud of BG stepping up and being great. Otega continues to play at an elite level. We got contributions from everybody. And
that hat is fire. I'm going to need to cop that.
It's 22 minutes till Avery lands. I'm out, guys.
Hey. All right. Shoot.
Jason, 9 threes, 9 for 16 from 3 in the first half there. Just what did you see as far as just getting those open shots and getting into a rhythm there?
We have a slogan called make a play for a teammate, and I thought our guys have been doing a tremendous job the past couple of weeks, and we're making shots now early on.
That's honestly a great slogan for a deep team like Kentucky where everybody has crazy talent.
On the season, we wasn't, but we practice every day. Guys are coming in faithfully shooting, and fortunately tonight they was going in.
Yep. Yeah, Coach, now that it's over, was there any kind of anxiety or nervousness about the so-called trap game being Arkansas was Saturday, Tennessee's coming in?
You know what? As a former player, that rings in your mind with these young men. But I thought tonight they came out and executed. This team has been playing well, Oklahoma, although their record doesn't indicate it. But our guys stepped up and met the challenge and was able to fight through those issues.
Jason, Coach Pope mentioned it briefly there, but what Brandon was able to do tonight, and honestly, and like the whole scope of the season, I know it's a bit of an up and down year for him. Mm-hmm. Where have you seen Brandon persevere the most, and how did that kind of come to fruition tonight in his performance?
Well, he's a young professional in terms of coming to work every day and doing his job. And, when you do that, the basketball gods will bless you. And tonight he was in the right spots, played with a lot of energy. And, that's what happened when you just continue to work. And every game won't be like that for him, but as long as his effort is.
See, why won't every game be like that for him though? Because I heard myself, Mark Pope, say that it all comes down to individually getting better every day, no matter what team you are, no matter who you are. So if every game won't be like that for him, and he did literally his job, is he saying that because he's not expected to get as much minutes, especially if they got Jaden Quayens coming in? But that's kind of a hint towards Jaden Quayens coming off the bench and getting more minutes because he's been injured all season.
We're happy with that.
Coach Hart, you have been a former player. You just talked about it. It seems like Brandon and Otega really have special games every time you guys play Oklahoma.
Uh-huh.
And what is that like when I know there are storylines there? The coaches don't get into it too much, but as a former player, how much extra motivation is there when there are those storylines going on behind it?
You know what? That's kind of a Brandon does play well, and obviously Otega plays well against his former school. I just think it's the juice of the game. Otega playing against his former coaches, so he want to impress them. And then Brandon, he just steps up and bring energy. He's from Oklahoma, so he gets bragging rights when he go home in the summertime and see those guys. And just happy that they played well tonight. We needed it.
Over. I mean, you mentioned Otega playing great tonight, but yet again, he gets to double digits. He's done that every game this year. There's only 3 games in his UK career he hasn't reached double figures. So, how hard is it sometimes not to take for granted just how consistently good Otega is?
Yeah, as coaches, you always want to nitpick, but he's a bad dude. Otega Oweh is a really good basketball player. He's consistent. He's our leader, and sometimes I kind of be in awe and watching him, but he's been playing at a high level, and that's why he was preseason SEC Player of the Year.
Coach, obviously a lot's going to be made tonight about how well they shot the ball, but
Yes.
you guys also jumped on them pretty hard on the boards. I mean, obviously Brandon had his 11, but it felt like pretty much everyone got in on the rebounding. What can you say about how they responded and fought on defense as well as with their scoring?
Well, and
no team is going to play Kentucky and expect Brandon Garrison, number 10, to start going off. That's annoying.
in the first half, I thought we did a good job in taking away their three-point shots. We know number 1 likes to shoot threes. In the second half, unfortunately, he made some. We just got to continue to get better at that part of the game. But they fought. They wasn't going to quit. They made some threes, and we was able to keep fighting to hold them off.
Jason, what have you seen from Colin's progression just since he got here, even going back to the beginning of last season, and especially the confidence he seems to be playing with the last 2-3 weeks?
Well, in college, it doesn't happen often because guys often transfer. But he's a prime example of believing in Coach Pope's system. This is his second year. He's real comfortable. He's grown. He's matured. He was on this Mormon mission for 2 years, so he's got his legs back under him. And he's just playing at a level where we knew he was. And I'm just happy the world get to see, Colin Chandler playing at a high level. We need him.
Jason, every time there's a scuffle or a dust-up, I'm like, all right, where's Brandon? Because I know he's going to be in the middle of it. What do you guys say to him about, there's a fine line there between being physical, being tough, and crossing over?
Nothing. Keep doing that. We need that. A lot of times, me working here at Kentucky, it's always the other team's biggest game. And so we need him to go back to being who he is. Getting physical with players, and we feed off that, especially as coaches. We're not encouraging him to do anything dirty, but we need his physical play, and we need him to be that, and I applaud it.
Jason, with Andrea, there were moments this year. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
There were moments this year where he wasn't getting playing time, and it could have been easy for him to sulk on the bench or maybe even check out of things. But it seems like ever since especially he's moved into the starting lineup, he's really made an impact. He had an effective night shooting the 3 and on the boards tonight. What can you say about the way he's kind of stuck with things and the progression that he's made over the course of this season, especially since becoming a starter?
Yeah, super proud of him. He got a little down on himself early in the season, being from another country, trying to come in, learn the language, learn our culture, system. And so when he did sit, he had to sit and learn. And, sometimes sitting on the bench, it does that to you. You light a fire up in you, and I don't think he wants to go back to the bench. And so he's coming out with a sense of urgency. He kind of know what Coach Pope wants, and he know what he can do. And so we need him to continue to play strong, shoot with no fear.
Exactly what I said earlier, playing strong. His main weakness is strength, but his best strength is that he can shoot and pull it at 3 given times and really stretch the floor out for Kentucky, which clears the way for Otega Oweh to drive, which is one of his main skill sets.
And give it your all, and that's what he's been doing. Yep.
versus Mississippi State, y'all's first win. Pope said he was happiest with that assist to turnover margin.
Yeah.
It was
21-6.
Yeah.
I
How
keep-
important is that aspect for y'all in the teamwork front?
So I'm a point guard, so I keep those turnovers, and if we take care of the ball, it gives ourselves a chance to win. And I think we've been one of the top teams in the SEC. And so tonight, it just showed that we can pass too, sharing. And I think when you share the basketball, it makes it more enjoyable to watch. So those 6 turnovers are huge for us. And anytime they do turn the ball over, if they do something that we're asking, we don't really count that as a turnover. All right. How about
4 teams sitting a game and a half back outside of the.
I don't care what these haters got to say. I want to see what the other coach got to say. You got a 3-minute video.
You can throw it open to questions.
Coach,
why you smacking on his gums like that? He got dentures?
Moser, it seems in the last.
He definitely got plastic surgery done on his face, and that might be some hair treatment transplant going on at the top of the head. You could tell by the unnatural. Actually, no, I ain't going to do that to him.
3 meetings you've had since Mark's been here that Ortega and Brandon seem to do well against you all. I know there's some underlying things there. Ortega used to play for you. Brandon's from Oklahoma. But what do they do that makes it hard on you guys?
I tell you, Ortega's just he's an elite player. Ortega, he's really he's obviously he can knock down the shot. He puts you in a really decision-making mode.
I would say Ortega always a elite player at the college level. I just don't know what he could do with the NBA yet, because to me, he's just like a smaller Westbrook.
Off ball screens, because he can turn the corner on you, and now he's making really good decisions passing out of it. He's just becoming a complete player. He's so strong on defense. I think that's where Brandon really is. They went to Brandon a lot on defense because they were switching, and he's able to move his feet and switch. And I think that was, why he got 29 minutes, I think, was his defense. And then he hurt us on the glass. His physical presence on the rebounding was a big factor.
Porter, you just mentioned the discrepancy on the glass there. I think Kentucky rebounded you guys by 16. Was that just a physicality thing? Just kind of what played into that?
It's a bunch of everything above. Physicality, size, and I think we kept on we battled back. I think we cut it to 8 at one point, and then they got 2 or 3 offensive rebounds when you're trying to cut it. Those are just daggers, when you get a stop and then you can't finish the play with the rebound. And I think we really good, came flying off their baseline staggered play, saw it going early. But, when you're battling back like we were, cut it to 8, and you get a stop, you got to finish it off with the rebound, and we just couldn't. We couldn't. They really got us on the glass.
Excuses.
In those moments when we're trying to come back.
Porter, you guys really defended the rim. It seemed like really well in the first half, but they get the 9 threes. Just what did you see there that they were getting the open shots and then getting in the rhythm?
I think Aberdeen started it off. He got one, and then they hit another deep one. But I mean, they hit some deep shots. I know they got them twice off their baseline staggered play, and those aren't easy shots. Chandler, he comes flying off when you're on a dead sprint on a baseline stagger from one corner to the other wing, stop, dime, shoot. Those are tough shots. It shows you how good of a shooter he is to be able to catch and shoot off the move like that. Some guys can't shoot off the move like that. I thought he did. Get it going. Ortega knocked down a step back 3. We had guarded him. We were playing that drive, and he kind of shook us, and he took a step back 3. And he's really, really almost, I don't want to say impossible, but he's damn close when he's hitting
gas. He just made John make like he ain't get smoked. He got smoked. Ortega always definitely guardable. We've seen people guard him.
The rocker step 3s because you're playing that because if he gets an angle on you, he's keeping the angle because he's so strong. So I know that 3 was right in front of our bench. All right, good luck.
Yeah, get him out of
Jay
here.
Hart's going to take all the questions. He's going to give you way better.
Just for fun, we gonna check out the Spurs game. I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna skim through it real quick. Got stuff to do, man.
And welcome to San Antonio.
And he's using the backboard. He's gonna be the most valuable player to ever touch the league.
Keldon Johnson, corner to Fox. Fox wide open. Can't hit. But Bryant right there.
What's up with all this fake defense? You gonna close down on the shot slow and nobody gonna box out for the rebound?
Yeah, comes flying in. Shot clock winding down. Wiggins has to get it off. Just does. And hits the three. Wiggins with his third three-pointer.
He just playing around. He on his LaMelos. I did not see that pass coming.